Kushe, Kabo, and welcome, Fambul. Welcome to your favorite program, The Truth Evening Talk. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we get to you from 8 to 9. This now your favorite program. Welcome. Stay tuned with we. No go no side. We don't come back today for discuss youth topics them way they affect with the youth them, topics them way they affect the country, and same way so topics them way go make you learn, will go make you think, and will go make you talk. Mina Samuel Ingano man.
You get we live on Truth FM 103.9 from the studios na Airport Freetown. And Seth, you go watch we live now Facebook page and we YouTube channel on truthmediafm.com. As always, we get sensitive issue today and me where they talk to na me na Saidu Kagbo.
Today we will talk about the climate. And this nothing we don't affect the one whole world. UN don't remote on this, they don't give their own opinion. We don't see civil society then all around the world they try for combat this climate problem. And today we will get a very special guest now missed, an expert with regards the climate, and we will get for come ask them some questions them, and we will get for learn. And so there, no go no side, stay with me.
Today na human behavior and the condition of the environment. So how we don't do as Sierra Leoneans for ensure say we protect the environment. We dey look how we actions them, whether na good or bad, for protect destroy the environment. All the way we know say we depend on.
We get for the camera with me. For the Kamara, na regional coordinator for Africa, na Youth Climate Council Global Alliance, and our young man we don't they engage youth them over the years with regards climate change. For the welcome, sir.
Good evening, listeners, and thank you for what I get me now today.
So for the let we start simple. So waiting at this climate change, waiting at this climate where we don't the world don't yaba for, and people are very particular about them, especially global leaders them.
So when we talk about climate change, now how in the long term the condition of the atmosphere don't they change over time. So simply, for example, we usually can say we get rain from April, from May to somewhere around November or somewhere around October, and then we not expect for like a rain in October, in November and December. But the current situation of the climate now, because of those changes, I mean, about a week ago, so we get serious rainfall in December.
Exactly.
Right? Whereas sometimes you may expect, say, in March, we will get too much sun. But then what happens sometimes, you get too much rain. Then are simply waiting climate change mean.
Okay, so as the regional coordinator for Africa under the Youth Climate Council Global Alliance, so we don't get a lot of climatic issues then we they go on our communities them and environment, and also of course as we dey now we dey experience heavy downpour onto this moment. So like waiting now some of the things then the way this institution on they do now salon specifically.
Okay, so me work, well, we get the Youth Climate Council Sierra Leone, but me they now the Global Alliance. So the Youth Climate Council Global Alliance now an institution where they try to establish structures, whereas government and other stakeholders they engage young people in the climate policy making processes. We believe say young people stand the greatest risk when it comes to the impacts of climate change. In the next 20, 30 years, 40. Now we still get for there. Most of the people who really cause the problem, who are responsible for this problem, might not be around. So we think when it comes to decision making processes, when it comes to policy making processes, and the implementation, young people for be engaged, young people for be at the center stage of those processes. So what the Youth Climate Council Global Alliance to do now, for ensure say we establish youth climate councils in different countries. So in my role as the African coordinator, as the African regional coordinator, I work with councils now Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana, you know, Botswana, and some other countries now the continent for ensure say we provide support to them for get that structure, whereas then we will engage governments adequately. So yeah, when it comes to Sierra Leone, well, I mean, I'm a national coordinator for Sierra Leone before I go to the role of regional coordinator. So when it comes to Sierra Leone, what we do purposely now that and they provide capacity to young people. We don't get couple workshops in different areas, not just policies, providing needed capacity for young people for lead the change. Engage with government when it comes to policy. Shortly a while ago, the government don't produce what they call NDCs, when are the major climate action policy where countries can produce. The Youth Climate Council do consultations across the country for ensure that they collect input from young people and put together a position paper and say, hey, this is what we want. Now this we want as young people. Now this one for include in this policy we want to make in the interest of young people. And then we also they try for mobilize young people in different ways. I'll proudly say in the past 2-3 years of we active of activities, and so we don't be able to get a lot of young people engaged and active in the climate change space, whereas also providing them the needed resources.
Fodi, before
Yes.
we go deep, let me talk about what are some of the causes of where they cause the climate for change. You rightly made mention, say we already get seasons alone, and say we get the rain season, the dry seasons, and the dry seasons we can get harmattan also. But we can get either we get excessive rain or we get excessive sun. What are some of the reasons then where they cause this climate change?
Okay, so when the scientists and more the policy part of it. So when the scientists and they talk about the things that they cause climate change, then they look at, of course, natural causes and the human causes. But they can focus on the part of the human causes. A lot of things that cause a major contribution to climate change, and which we call emission. You drive cars, you emit, which they call carbon dioxide. And then the waste they produce, which they call methane, different set of gases. So waiting that happen in its simplest form. Now, like if you take a cup, we get warm water, that heat still supposed to can go up, right?
Yeah.
So if you take that cup there and then you cover it with, let's say with anything also, it is stop that gas there, that heat there, not for go. So due to with human activities, usually what happens is we still need some heat for survive as mortal man. Usually with human activities they produce now excessive heat. So what happens is those heat they go settle in the clouds and it stays there because it's too much it forms a blanket. We now mean say the heat way for left, none of all of them, not the left. It is stay in the atmosphere and then it leads to what we call global warming. So the ripple effect of that when it comes to maybe for example oceans now that because of the global warming it make glaciers ice, the glaciers they melt. By that when the ice they melt within the happen the sea level the rise. So that I make places like coastal communities like Plantain Island for example they sink because of the global warming, the glaciers they melt, too much water they come up. But then the the problem actually also triple to where we talk about maybe with the cut the ticket. Because I think as early as primary school we all learn about how trees they absorb carbon dioxide, and human beings they give out carbon dioxide. So because sometimes we don't cut the trees around, for example, that sequestration not happen. The trees that we're supposed to take in that excess carbon, not a taker. So it stays in the atmosphere. It causes that heat wave we get too much. This is now why maybe for if you go now some communities where maybe if you go now areas where really properly green, the temperature of those areas compared to other parts that where they don't cut all the trees, not can be the same. Then are just some of the cause, the things that where they cause climate change. Industries, um, land use, then the cut
So
some
for,
peak
for
there.
the what you say, so now more of human
Mhm.
actions now that cause this
Yes, a
climate
lot
action.
of human actions.
So
Some natural causes they. So let's say, for example, volcanic eruptions. Yeah,
Volcanoes.
if a volcano happen, it has to send out a lot of heat. That one day they cause climate change equally. But the major causes currently, as per science, as per the scientists, them, now human activities, the industries. So now it make places like Salon or most African countries they contribute really very very minimal. So to the global warming because now places them like China, the United States, they get all these big industries and then get so much industrial activities when and then they contribute more carbon. So when we talk about industries, I mean things like the one that we produce, let's say Sierra Leone Brewery, and let's say Miller Tank, all those people they use huge machine there where they really give out so much carbon, where they give so much carbon, where we know they do these things, the vulnerable communities, the poorer nations, and we they suffer more, why then they cause that problem.
Yeah. Okay, so within the Youth Climate Council, within are the programs then where the Youth Climate Council don't they do with regards the issue of improper waste disposal, especially na crowded communities them.
All right. So like I said earlier, one of the primary, one of the we focus on actually mobilizing young people. In the past few years, we don't able mobilize lots of young people, provide them capacity, and also linkages to things like funding with institutions like Freetown City Council, where they provide them funding through, for example, the Bloomberg Youth Climate Action Fund, where it's series of a lot of young people where they convert waste to briquette. We get series of young people where they convert plastic waste to decors. You get chair like desk like that, stool like that. We get young people where they use tires, for produce things like that. But other than that, young people they also you know, um, organize cleanups in communities for ensure say they prevent flooding and prevent excess waste. And over and beyond, we they try for always CC, we work with governments both at the local and national level. For CC, we push for stronger policies and stronger regulations, and we also they educate communities. Because to me, when it comes to the waste issue in Freetown and a lot of cities, it also get a lot of behavioral components to it. All the dirty way waiting at the gutter, if not so we they do up in our streets where we in camp, it go into her, you know go see them there. If we dey ensure say we manage we waste properly, yeah, and ensure say maybe for example Freetown City Council get um waste service providers. If we ensure say we dey get those waste service providers for take those waste and go manage them properly, maybe treat them like then they do not Kinton. Those things, the kind of waste we they see in our free time, not they happen. Because I think if we all stop for the drop, just the basic plastic water we would drink, if we all stop for drop on our streets, I mean it will be a beautiful city where in the past, we'll see all of them. So we also they try for ensure say we educate people on why they need for keep them, streets them clean. on why they need for ensure say they manage their waste. You not take the dirty na you host the moment it don't dark, you go do up and drainage. All of that now in the cause the the compound and lead to flooding. So we equally they do that too.
For the also environment protection are one key thing where the government don't they talk about. You made mention of Freetown City Council, and somebody go on for know how waiting are the things that we need for do as mortal man them as responsible citizens them for ensure say we protect the environment.
Uh, like I was just saying, yeah, maybe we can manage we waste properly. We can usually say reduce, reuse, and then you recycle. The first step where we say you reduce, it mean it's possible for you not produce too much waste. If you don't produce the waste, what you go do, some of them they where you can able reuse. Different way than they for reuse waste. Can you reuse them for produce even gas where they cook with now us. People they do biogas. And then recycle. There's a lot of waste you can also recycle. Companies and they way they buy plastic and stuff for recycle. And so waste, as much as we're knocking even in the climate space, but we're not can talk much about waste the way we talk about we not talk about much about the gas we um, waste they produce as much as we talk about other gases. We call it methane. We can usually say the silent killer. You know they see it go up in flames, but it's more potent than the smoke. So I mean, if you see smoke where they come up from fire, and then if you don't pack waste, especially organic waste, and then you just put stick inside, and that waste from that organic waste is more hotter than the smoke in your heat, not so the fire, the smoke in heat. So methane's also now really serious carbon, we now very serious and harmful gas we not can pay attention to. So one way for protect the environment actually now by taking those actions where they make we reduce some of these gases. But then outside that, um, we also can try for CC basic things like planting trees. I mentioned this earlier and I can always talk. The science not too difficult for understand. If you get trees that you compound, when you dey go under that tree, even if the sun one day, the way it can be cool, not also other parts of your compound a day. So and when we don't learn about this a lot that trees they give out oxygen and they make communities cool. This now other thing where people can do. We can stop for do things like cutting down trees. That's safe now one thing we go make sure say we sequester a lot of carbon from the environment and we make the environment cooler. And if you can, if you can, if you they afford, maybe when those times reach that the infrastructure they we can move away from combustion engines and you know instead of those cars that they produce carbon when the infrastructure they maybe that's when calls on government come and when they're enabling environments people can learn for move to vehicles where not they produce too much gas where they disturb the environment and when it comes to farming, for example, instead of you cut down bushes, you can do inland valleys. It still produce rice and at the same time it protect your environment.
Fully. One thing we Solomon common for who knows we say for now that we tend for turn blind eyes.
Yeah.
We prefer to complain but we need to take action. And largely majority of the time we can say the place one more or this in Cambo this in can't even one know where he brought shallow floodings where he said and this and that. But you think say enough sensitization don't don't go on. For make we know say for make Sierra Leoneans and know say with little actions like you made mention of waste, they contribute to the climate. You think say sufficient information or sensitization don't go on? Talking from the schools, the universities.
I think on that part, I'll say pretty much some level of awareness and sensitization that happened. Maybe 4, 5 years ago, radio stations not they get they will not they dedicate an hour for talk about the environment, but there is a wake up call that people don't realize that everybody need to take action. But other than that, why should they try for educate people? We still get massive deniers. A lot of people, for example, I don't experience a lot of people. They say, you did in climate action because now they the money they. Yeah, people still think the whole talk about climate change, the whole talk about protecting the environment, now it's sort of just money making scheme that people they do. So they don't actually even believe that planting trees, for example, the basic, just planting trees, they help for reduce heat, right? Even though with a filler, every year maybe it increase, the temperature they become higher. That sometimes you they even get AC in a room, but it sound like AC now they. So a lot of action they go. There are more nature clubs today than even day years ago. More young people to get interest in actually contributing to sensitizing their communities. But again, more need for be done because it's like just how we fight for educate people and inform people. Disinformation that happen, misinformation that happen, and well, in developing countries like Sierra Leone, it's not coordinated, but in places like in the West, companies, oil companies, and also actually they sponsor disinformation campaigns. We get situations now, for example, where presidents and some leaders did say climate change not exist. So the denier is massive, which means which means we need to do more when it comes to educating people. Maybe we need to get new approaches on how to make people understand, because as it is so far, we still not able to break down the topic of climate
Understanding of it.
very well for let people understand. We in a somehow some new topic when it comes to places like Sierra Leone, a lot of people don't really understand, and they just take and like, okay, this not just other side where people they
Then
focus
we forget money.
because they want
Yeah.
to forget money.
Yeah.
So like we understand say there is a legislation where the city council, Freetown City Council will implement we now for try for tackle this waste. Let's say for instance if somebody throw a dirty in a street, you get a fine or you get a particular punishment where you dey go through, let's say it about you either pay 500 millions or you go 6 months jail. I don't know how effective that don't they be. I believe say if they implement that very well, we know they get issues and they continuously.
Yes. So city council, we self we don't support that effort. We train up to 40 young people from the different communities, the different wards now Freetown, for let they able understand the bylaw. These are just some of the things that we do. For let they able understand the bylaws adequately. Within the bylaws there about now that if they try for CC, the city able manage waste properly, especially communities where now they outside those way they classify as informal communities. Now it's mandatory for let you register with a waste service provider. They get different waste service providers. Now all the blocks, then divide the the city into different blocks. And so each block gets a waste service provider we assigned to that. You do register with that waste service provider with Freetown City Council, and then you just need for pay some amount based on um, what the stratas the way FCC set. When you waste ready, you just make you can make by SMS, you can pay through Orange Money, and the waste service provider they can pick up. Because the other challenge where we don't day when it comes to waste management is why there is a surge in this clean salon.
Yeah.
They're not regulated, and mostly people communities self-aware, and then they complain. Then they can't take waste naya, just go a few meters away from outside and take this waste, and then dump them somewhere else, where they cause more problem than they solve. So in response to that, now it make Freetown City Council come with the bylaw. We now actually get designated waste service providers. Now the different blocks there. So if you own block now this waste service provider then they go there all the time. Then self if they not go there, then get way Freetown City Council they can end their contract if they know they go pick the waste. All you need for do now forget the bag. I think there's a system for that. When you flop you waste now the bag, then can collect, and those ones they able manage the waste properly, then they take them to add it to the right treatment centers, then they able separate them and sort them properly for instead of those ones. So we get usually where they take them here and then go drop an Asambagota or any other drainage where they find around. That make the Freetown City Council, get that bylaws where, like I said, we serve beyond the support for raise awareness, for empower the young people, particularly those who are in the area of waste management, so they go understand the bylaws properly and then go back to their communities and educate them.
Before we go for a break, we get two strategic dump sites in this country. Where they almost the heart of the city. We get one Bomeda, we get one like you see eastern end. And earlier you create an analogy of the heat. You say when the heat they come, if you cover it from that steam, or if you not cover it, it goes settle up in the air. You make that analogy there. And looking at Bome and this particular place now eastern, how you think say this particular position, this dump site, they contribute to this to climate change, especially na Freetown? You made mention say Salon to contribute little or less to the global climate change. But talking about Freetown, Freetown also of this, we get a clear example. Bome and that place. What are some of the measures, especially you with regards to your job as regional coordinator for Africa, when they talk about the global change? When they engage government, or don't talk to people with regards to this?
I think when it comes to managing those things, I mean, if we're talking about the risk, I mean, except otherwise, but every time they pass the Kisi end, when you go towards the Kisi end, it hardly follow cover your nose.
It hardly.
Because the air quality in those places horrible. The impacts on health, I cannot imagine how it looks like for people when they reside in those places. And some of these things now, age-old problem, and it takes time for fix. Governments, they try their best, but then mostly communities also need for support those endeavors within they do. Specifically, we don't get targeted advocacy on those ones. So, but then Freetown City Council done, I think, less than 2 weeks ago, don't actually hand over the Kingdom Bome to a waste management company, where I think now get for start for treat the waste day, and get for try for the salts, and then they recycle the waste now, the kisi bomb, stuff will be corrected. That handing over the mail freight and do that handing over a few weeks ago. So these things take processes. It needs systems in place, but also lots of financial resources for fix them. So we on we part, they continue for make advocacy to government institutions and all that for letting able take action on these things.
Okay, for the
So
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll go for a short commercial break. Fambul, we'll go for a short commercial break. No go no side. Stay with me. We will come back. We can talk to Fode about the challenges and even the opportunities them way they with regards this line of work.
I do me homework. It's too slow.
I no want make you worry. Signature Connect don come na salon. Signature Connect wey na fiber internet and microwave coverage e get, dey na salon now. And e come from make the internet problem done tapata. Signature Connect wey dey na number 92 Regent Road Hill Station don come with package dem wey go sweet you. When you connect, you dey get 3 days free trial for both postpaid and prepaid options. Then package dem sweet then get 700 for small homes, 900 and then 1,250 for smaller office them and business place them. And say for corporate services them, you dey able use the internet for connect to CCTV camera, laptop and phone and other appliances them where you get na you house or you office. Not forget to Signature Connect dey for all man. Contact them na 072 568 290 or 033-233-620.
1 minute Konani, know your rights in 60 seconds. Brought to you by Citizens Beret.
Kush, the silent drug crisis. Kush na one drug we no dear. It easy forget, so it acts for left. It dey poor salon more with young one them. It can make person sleep, body can swell, body can wound, and it can even die. All way government don't declare a national emergency and make one tax force inside 2024. The thing that they can use for pillow and care for everybody business, they shut in. The one that where they admit in the hospital for mental health problem for Seka Kush don't jump by 4,000%. And postmortem where they can do per demand and show say Kush use boku. For use drug na salon na crime, but the court can send the one that way they use and for go take treatment instead of them go na prison. New regulation there inside 2024 they make people then get more treatment centers, land where they out for left the drugs small and protect their rights. Kush don't make Boku left school. Their family then get spoiled out and it don't bug the good name salon get all about na the wall. Kush they affect we family them and we nation in tomorrow one. So we for talk about how we they affect we. Help the one that way Kush they affect and the community for get well body and social care. Let we beg the government for train more medical workman them, block the supply chain them, and pay attention for how for help the one that way they use the drug for left and small.
1 minute Konani, know your rights in 60 seconds. Brought to you by Citizens Beret.
Indeed, Salon at the land where God don't bless. This now we own country, this now we own nation, now we own this, and our responsibility for protect this land. Welcome back, Fambul. The watch your favorite program, the Truth Evening Talk. And today we will talk about the climate and waiting our your responsibilities them as citizens for protect the climate. We'll get further with we for the camera with we today. And before we go for a break, we'll be talk about some of the actions that we as citizens for play and what are some of the things that we even the government made mention say some of them things there. So we need partnership, we need collaboration, and now we owe human effort. Now we get for changes. Now we motorman them. Now we also don't come put this thing per ourselves. Like I say, largely now human actions them they cause the climate for change. So for the welcome back. So waiting on some of the challenges them we this fet people are on the face with regards to climate change.
I think one major challenge I would say na deniers. Lots of people still not believe in climate change at all. You tell people plant trees, they'll say, "Oh, nah, money making the one for plant trees." You even if you giving them the seedlings for free, even if you they tell them, say just plant, I they give you the seedlings, I get nothing. Lots of people still not believe in the whole concept of climate change at all. So think for me that a really serious a major challenge when it comes to it. But outside that, access to the funding also one serious big problem, especially for young people. Um, eh, as much as finance the um, in climate action, then they provide funding for lots of interventions. People donors don't trust young people with funds. Most of only a meager percentage they go to young people. So young people get really brilliant ideas, but how to put those ideas into action usually a big issue in not just Nassau alone, but in a lot of other places, but with a lot of young people we work with. That's a major challenge. And also for us as young people, we also think we get big um, barriers in accessing decision making spaces. Wise we dey make improvements, we dey make gains on a daily basis. Forget access to decision making spaces when it comes to climate action. A really serious problem, or maybe not just for not just peculiar to the climate change space, but stakeholders not dey give too much space for young people to contribute and bring out the innovation we then get in solving the whole climate crisis. But also when it comes to communities, they not get the tools and the resources for move away from a carbon economy. So for you they ask people una not cut stick for burn charcoal. This not their livelihood. Fairly. This not in and done they do for make money. Waiting you want for offer to them as alternative where they make the left for burn charcoal. Also now another challenge that if you want to move people away from the lifestyle where we think that it contributes to emission, what are you offering them in the climate space? You call them you talk about just transition. You want to move away from a carbon economy to a green economy. How do you do that where they affect people them livelihoods? You say una not burn charcoal again, not to just the one where they make the charcoal themselves. You not buy charcoal for cook, not use charcoal. Use something else. Let's say use briquettes. It costs maybe more. How people will make that shift to this. You say no log this then people ask on a login and they do. You say una no log again. How they go make that shift without it affect the livelihood? So that's now one really really important now one strong challenge
Yeah.
where it affects the fight against climate change.
Okay, so I want to know wetin are some of the cleaner habits wey una platform don dey use for try for encourage the one dey wey dey involve in gathering the dirty na it. How una don dey try for encourage them for see say they continue their work.
Clean. What are they particularly?
Then one day with the let's say the clean salon and other people that we Freetown City Council don't choose for say na their responsibility.
Okay. So this always don't they come up in the discussions with stakeholders around the new waste management system. So we say let clean salon, then now they collect the dirty again. But how I talk about just transition, we call it the informal waste service providers. So we want for stop them for let them know they collect dirty again, because when they can collect her, they can go drop her. Some places where they don't need for drop her and all that. So what thing we they say is we they try for advocate with the waste service providers, the designated waste service providers, and the city leadership now for let we see how they can inculcate some of those informal waste service providers. Then one way they collect the dirty, the clean salon, how they go inculcate them in the new system for let they work with those waste service providers, so they go continue for earn their livelihood and they not go back into and not go back for continue for disturb those who they collect the waste. So this now something ongoing advocacy effort so they do for that. Let we not just stop the clean salon boys where they do this because clearly they not be done properly. So maybe we can empower them with skills and make them work with the new system of waste service collection, and that way they can be paid by the waste service collectors. Yeah. But also we also can create linkages between the waste pickers and recycling institutions, recycling businesses, and in that then they collect the plastic in communities and then we connect them with companies where they recycle waste and then they buy the waste from them. That way they also earn a living for themselves.
Okay, Fode, thank you very much. We'll be going at the street and we'll be asked a question on the climate, and we want to take this vox pop, no go no side.
To be honest, for me, I think say people that not really take care of the environment how we're supposed to take care of farm. Because we still see dirty in our streets. We still see people and just the burn dirty anyhow. When you pass, you will just see in one corner then the burn dirty. The way not to say for be. For me personally, I'll make it take care of my environment. Now there's small thing that will not think say important or necessary. When you drink water, the packet, put on a trash can. Not just fling around on the street, say get people that will sweep them for you. Put on a trash can. Then for the sweep regularly, it clean, then drainage, then place the all and gutter there. At least all they keep and clean. Because if you flop and back with dirty, like with water, the pass, how the water go before, it will make the thing block. So for me, for the sweep, regularly people, if they want the country to be safe and clean and secure, clean, sweep the dirty packet water, not just throw it anyhow. Put on a trash can, dispose and how they say the thing for like disposal. Then I think so we live in a clean environment.
Well, how about the secure of my environment? One, I need to keep dirty first in the compound, or either take dirty to your streets. And then ensure say they go to secondly, I need to eat plastic pattern at it. While drink, and they put on a bag until I reach a suicide dustbin, they put her inside there. And then also, if I get community cleaning, I should always involve myself into them so that to be able to keep the community clean. Yes.
I dey take care of my environment well, especially from your own point as a person, which are they, and also the things them way I dey do na street. Another one where I can do now personal advocacy. I can do personal advocacy in the sense that when me and my company can work on a street, then a friend or anybody who has had it so far, if dirty in a street, for instance, yeah, I will tell you that, tell you say take care more, tell you say, but what thing you do not really ideal, nice, because I dey see and say if we before influence the people and way they around we for take action for really take care of the environment, I believe say, and the other person back share the same message from another person, that kind of message where they spread can be able for really get we all for come together and get this realization subconsciously that you no need for like possibly even tell you say what you did do. For instance, for you dirty in a street wrong, you know that one subconsciously. So you know when they pass na street, you don't for being quarter and then you dirty in a street. So that kind of personal advocacy they don't also help even me friends them around me. At least when making their around. I don't know if that's what they can do, but when making their around, I hardly see them to read in a street. And I really think say they can implement same at home. So yeah, through personal advocacy again, I can talk to my friends them, I can able for influence them, not for to read in a street at all.
In relation to protecting our environment, I do have a quotation which goes like this: our environment, our responsibility. I want us all to understand that in order for us to protect our environment, we should continue to raise awareness. One thing which I notice is that people have less information about the negative impacts of their actions in the environment. So in order to protect the environment, it is important that we educate people, we go to schools, we use the media. Thank God we are now living in a digital world. We go to community, even churches or mosques, tell people about the negative impact of their work in the environment. Secondly, we should ensure that there are laws put in place by government officials and parliamentarians, and there should be an effective implementation of these laws in order to punish lawbreakers. And then lastly, there should be a continuous dialogue. This continuous dialogue should continue not only at national level, but even at international level and at all sectors, because by that, we can be able to understand more, feel the situation, and be able to get more innovative solutions to protect our environment.
Welcome back, Fambul, from that Vox Pop break. They're waiting people say about the climate. And as we all know, who's a problem there, you must get people we go rise as use them for try for fit or provide solution. And we spotlighted in one hero we don't contribute immensely to the climate effort and not to know as a person but not to me Garnet. We will take the spotlight and we will come back.
Salome get one forest wey bin almost not survive, war almost destroy dis place. Logging also threaten im survival, not for talk but motorman activities wey bin nearly wipe am off. But today, e stand proud as Sierra Leone im first UNESCO World Heritage Site, and behind dis big transformation na one man, Tommy Garnett. Tommy Garnett bin born Akono in 1959, far from the world of global conservation. E go study agriculture and development economics na abroad. E see how environmental destruction dey affect communities dem, but instead for remain overseas and build comfortable career, e come back na Salone, one country wey be dey inside crisis, but one land wey same wey need protection. During the Civil War, forest dem bin burn, wildlife vanish, and hope for conservation will look impossible, but Tommy no ever give up. 1992, he formed the Environmental Foundation for West Africa with one mission: for restore wetin don broke and protect wetin remain. One place wey he put im heart pa na TY Island, one small but extraordinary island na the Moa River. Before the war, TY been famous for rare wildlife including endangered primates and the elusive pygmy hippopotamus. But the conflict destroyed facilities, chased researchers, and threatened the ecosystem. Plenty people been think say TY Island don lost forever. Tommy no gree make that happen. He mobilized community dem, raise funds, rebuild structures, and push back against illegal logging and poaching. Over decades, he and his team work with surrounding villages, train forest rangers, plant millions of trees, and protect the wide Angola rainforest, one of the last surviving rainforests in West Africa. Progress been slow and hard, but piece by piece the land healed, wildlife came back, and the forest began breathe again. Then, inside July 2025, history happened. The Gola TY complex, home to some of the world's rarest animal and plants, officially declared as Sierra Leone in first UNESCO World Heritage Site. Not just victory for conservation, but national achievement born from decades of resilience and commitment. Today, that forest not just stand as sanctuary for nature, but as symbol of hope and restoration. Proof say one determined Solomon can accomplish big things. Tommy Garnett not just conserve land, he preserve legacy. It shows say even in one country where they recover from war, nature can rise again if somebody brave enough for fight for am. This not the story of the man who saved one forest. This not the story of Sierra Leone in first UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
The whole area, any leader we can as Sierra Leone, even Queen Elizabeth we can as alone for independence, then Karango Yangema.
Okay, so we say time not a wait, and we don't talk plenty today. We believe say young people then don't learn something about this particular topic and how human behavior they affect the environment, and also we go tap the program for today. Me where they talk, me na side Kabu.
Okay. So, Fode,
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming. We totally appreciate your time, and we hope to get you back and let you can go more on this topic. So, what do you go on for left people and wait before you go?
Yeah, I think I just want to say the environment. Now everybody in, and it doesn't really matter how which now you status now life, whether you're rich or you're poor. When you destroy the environment, it comes back at everybody. As much as more vulnerable communities they suffer more, everybody they suffer when we destroy the environment. Now only one earth we get one earth. If maybe later they'll discover somewhere else where people they live, but for now, at this one place we get. Now we responsibility for protector, and to everybody, particularly Freetonians, if we not keep we city clean, nobody not come and keep am clean for we. And when we throw away dirty in our streets, if you throw away dirty in our streets, wise, you think say you dey up the hill. You know they stay up that hill there forever. One day you don't know whose side the flooding they meet you. You don't know whose side heavy rain will catch you one day, where the flooding will affect you. When whatever you do, it come back at we all. So today I want to say let anybody just pick one habit where you think say me, this I they take up as habits of protect the environment. If you say me not the do up dirty nasty, take them as your habits and not do them. Thank you for when I get me.
You're welcome for them.
Hope for we are back.
Fumble this now truth Ivnin Tok. Now also we go to the curtain. We thank Fode for where you don't give me expertise with regards to this particular topic. And with all and just like in closing remarks, say, let we take our responsibility. They say now one country we get and now we responsibility for protect them. Wednesday, this not good evening talk. We want for tell we producers and thank you, David Aspen, Solomon, and Andrew Tropele. Plenty thank you for where they produce this wonderful program, and also to the technical team. We want for thank Wosi, Ansu, Simon, and of course with DJ Muski. This not good evening talk, and me with the sign out. Me na Samuel Nganoman. Tata.